Hey guys, Aaron CybertronVGC here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online regulation H VGC ladder in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and provide live commentary as I go. In this video, I'm going to be featuring one of my favorite teams in the regulation H format right now. This is a team that features coaching Blaziken supported by physical attackers like Choice Band Dragapult as well as Assault Vest Kingambit. This team finished in the top 64 of the Baltimore Regional Championships, and Blaziken in particular is a really unique Pokemon. Coaching in itself is obviously a very powerful attack to help your teammates, but Blaziken can also deal massive amounts of damage with close combat and Flare Blitz. There are not that many Pokemon that can reliably take attacks from Blaziken, and Blaziken threatens so much of the format right now for neutral to super effective damage. As always, I'll do a quick breakdown of the team, but if you want to just skip to the battles, check out the timestamps down below, and thanks so much as always for joining me. If you enjoy, I'd really appreciate it if you consider leaving a like in the video or subscribing to the channel. It really helps out a ton. Anyway, let's dive into things. If you're interested in trying out the team, the rental code is on the screen, and there's also an accompanying Poke paste down in the description below. This team utilizes a lot of powerful attackers, especially physical attackers that can take advantage of coaching. Blaziken is a huge offensive threat and can further enable its teammates to deal lots of damage and take attacks better, especially Dragapult and Kingambit. You've got redirection support from Electabuzz, and with Vital Spirit and Taunt, it makes for a really effective Pokemon into Trick Room. Thunderbolt also is good offensively into water types like Pelipper, for example. And then you've got Primarina as a special attacker with Haze, which is really valuable into Pokemon that can boost its stats, especially something like Dondozo. But the general idea is that you've got really good type coverage across the board, and with the coaching boost, Pokemon like Kingambit and Dragapult just becomes so much more difficult to deal with. Down the team, the first Pokemon I want to highlight, of course, is Blaziken. By the way, Sableye VGC, one of the creators of this team, did a team report for it, so I'll link it down in the description below if you want to learn truly from the master himself. Huge congratulations to him for finishing top 64 at Regionals, and thank you to him and his team building partner for building and sharing this one. When I tried out this team, I wasn't exactly sure how good Blaziken would be, but it's felt absolutely incredible. And it's really good for a couple of reasons. You want to use it to coach your teammates, obviously, but you also just do a ton of damage with this Pokemon. Fire and Fighting gives you a lot of unique coverage in the format. Steel types, for example, in particular, are really common. Pokemon like Gholdengo, Kingambit, as well as Archaladon, well, you can threaten all of those with super effective damage. Blaziken also threatens other common Pokemon like Rillaboom as well as Incineroar for super effective damage. And Stellar Terra is really nice on this Pokemon because you don't really need a defensive Terra. You're already so frail and you've got Focus Sash anyway. So Stellar allows you to just further increase your damage output and pick up surprise knockouts or just deal massive amounts of damage. Blaziken has speed boost, of course, with Protect, so you're able to protect for a turn, get that speed boost, and then Blaziken will outpace so many Pokemon, including your own Dragapult. This Dragapult is adamant rather than jolly, so after a speed boost, then the Blaziken can go for coaching onto Dragapult and give it an attack and defense boost before it actually moves, and a +1 attack Choice Band Dragapult is an absolute menace. Otherwise, the Blaziken here also is Focus Sash, so it's fairly difficult to knock out. So a lot of times you will be able to at least get one coaching boost off with this, which is really, really nice. And of course, you're mainly going to want to go for coaching to enable both the attack and defense of your physical attackers. Kingambit, I find, is one of the most common Pokemon that I end up going for coaching with, right? Because you can lead Blaziken Kingambit and immediately go for coaching into an attack with Kingambit. Assault Vest Kingambit is already really tanky, and so when you give it an attack and a defense boost, this Pokemon just feels so powerful. You, of course, have unique type coverage here with Dark, Fighting, as well as Steel. Low Kick in particular, really nice to hit opposing Kingambits as well as Incineroar, for example. And so I really like the Assault Vest Kingambit set right now, and I think Blaziken just takes it to the next level. You, of course, also have Choice Band Dragapult, which is really powerful. One of the things, however, to note, of course, is that Blaziken will need a speed boost before it can outpace the Dragapult. And so if you go for coaching, Dragapult would attack first, then you would give a coaching boost onto it, right? So sometimes I'll have Blaziken on the field and then basically sacrifice something that's next to it, then get Dragapult in. And then once I've already gotten the speed boost onto it, Dragapult then can further get the coaching boost immediately, which is really nice. This is your standard Ghost Terra set. You've got Dragon Darts, Phantom Force, Terra Blast, and U-Turn. You can lead Dragapult often, U-Turn out to just chip away at things and do a lot of damage into things like Rillaboom, for example, then save it for the late game. Dragon Darts, when positioned correctly, can just win you games, especially in the end game. And Ghost Terra, Phantom Force, as well as Terra Blast just does so much damage. Dragapult's also nice because, of course, it's one of the fastest Pokemon that you can really use. You've got the Ghost typing, which is nice to prevent Fake Out, and Clear Body is such a good ability into Intimidate. So Dragapult, also a really strong Pokemon on this team. You can often lead it with things like Electabuzz to protect it as you go for super effective damage or just powerful attacks, or Rillaboom as you can go for Fake Out into Dragapult attacking. Rillaboom on this team is a lot more offensive than you might be used to because so many people like using Assault Vest Rillaboom with less attack investment, but you have the Assault Vest on Kingambit. So with Miracle Seed and Woodhammer, as well as coaching from the Blaziken, you just turn this into a much more of an offensive threat than people are used to. The Rillaboom on this team is also really speedy, which is nice, right? You're outspeeding 130 and everything lower than that. And so I think like a lot of times people expect Rillaboom to be a little bit bulkier, less offensive and less fast. But this Rillaboom is saying, you know what, I'm just designed to really hit as hard as possible. And when you have further attack boost onto it, like a +1 grassy terrain boosted Miracle Seed boosted Woodhammer is just absolutely nasty. To round out the team, you've got Electabuzz. Electabuzz is a really nice support option right now because it has Vital Spirit and it's just really bulky with Eviolite. This set has Thunderbolt, Follow Me, Taunt, Protect with Dark Terra. So Dark Terra is nice, right? Because you can Dark Terra in front of Psychic type Pokemon, especially, for example, like Psyspam. Taunt is really valuable into Trick Room. This also can shut down Amoonguss, right? Even though you have got a good bit to threaten Amoonguss, you've got Rillaboom, you've got Electabuzz with Vital Spirit and Blaziken. I think like a single Spore sometimes can be annoying, especially onto things like Kingambit and Dragapult. So having something protect around that is very valuable. And I'm often bringing Electabuzz, especially when I see like support Pokemon or Trick Room Pokemon, especially because of Taunt. Primarina is the final option on this team, and this is really nice because of Haze, so you obviously want to bring it into Dondozo. Steel Terra is really nice defensively. This isn't going to hit as hard as you might be used to with other Primarinas. It's not Life Orb, it's not Choice Specs, it's not Throat Spray, but the idea is that it's just a fairly bulky Pokemon that can soak up damage, get rid of stat boost, and also just deal a lot of damage with Hyper Voice and Moonblast. So it gives you good type coverage, and it is also important to have a special attacker on this team because otherwise you're basically relying on physical damage with 4 of the 6 Pokemon, and Electabuzz isn't really that much of an attacker other than into like water type Pokemon like Pelipper, right? So Primarina is nice because it also kind of completes the Fire, Water, Grass core of Blaziken, Primarina, Rillaboom, so it's nice defensively. Haze is really nice once again as an answer into Dondozo, which otherwise can be fairly annoying because with Unaware you can ignore the boosts, for example, and yeah, it's a Pokemon that kind of I think just completes the team and rounds it out quite nicely. In terms of ways with playing with the team, I often first ask myself if something that is boosted by coaching can just crush my opponent. So for example, Blaziken with Rillaboom, Blaziken with Kingambit, Blaziken with Dragapult are all viable lead combinations. The main thing to note is if you go Blaziken Dragapult, you won't be able to give coaching onto Dragapult on the first turn before Dragapult moves because of course it'll be faster, so just keep that interaction in mind. Blaziken Kingambit, probably one of my all-time favorite leads with this team, especially because people often feel like they want to bring Incineroar into things like Rillaboom and Blaziken and Dragapult, but then the Kingambit, of course, could get a Defiant boost, Terra defensively with Fire Terra, and then threaten with Low Kick immediately. And so these are all viable leads. I think another lead to consider is something like Dragapult plus Electabuzz. This mode allows you to just spam powerful attacks with Dragapult while having redirection support. This is a Pokemon that a lot of teams are just not super well prepared for, but of course it is really frail, right? So you have to worry about super effective attacks into it. But with Electabuzz, you can redirect those attacks away, let Dragapult get a couple of super effective or just powerful attacks off, and then when the Electabuzz faints, you get a free switch into something like Rillaboom or Blaziken as Dragapult continues to be able to spam its attacks. And so these are just some combinations that you can consider. But a lot of the times I often make the decision making when I played with this team around, can I just boost something with coaching and let it sweep? So in terms of things to watch out for, I think the first thing that I want to note is that a lot of your powerful attackers can't protect, right? Dragapult, Kingambit, Rillaboom, these are all great recipients of coaching, but even if you get the coaching boost off, you still can't protect with them, right? And that's pretty scary. For example, with Kingambit, if you are up against Pokemon with ground type damage, well, you can't protect in front of that, and ground is going to be super effective before and after Terra. So things like Garchomp with Stomping Tantrum, for example, things like Ursaluna, both Blood Moon as well as regular Ursaluna with Earth Power, or Headlong Rush, for example. So that's one thing that I think sometimes can feel scary, where maybe you get a coaching boost off, but then you still eat up so much damage, and if you know that these Pokemon can't protect, you can definitely take advantage of that. Dragapult in particular has a couple of things to watch out for. First of all, priority damage, especially dark type damage from opposing Kingambits, for example. Kingambit in general is a pretty scary Pokemon for Dragapult to go up against because it resists it super well, and priority obviously just gets to ignore how fast Dragapult is. I think Dragapult also struggles when it can't pick up big one-hit knockouts and then takes a lot of damage in return, right? It often isn't good to trade Dragon Darts, dealing like 50% to both your opponent's Pokemon if you're getting KO'd in return. So when you use this Pokemon, you really want to make sure that you're getting knockouts with it, or like setting up the rest of the team for knockouts. But this is probably my favorite Pokemon to close out games with. so I often try to conserve it as much as I can and don't give my opponent the opportunity to just like survive an attack and knock it out in return. Rillaboom here, obviously, it does not have that much coverage, right? You're only running grass and the U-turn, and so without ground coverage, you can get completely walled by things like Archaludon as well as Amoonguss. Now, the rest of the team obviously covers for steel types pretty well, but that's something that you have to be careful about. And then with Blaziken, I think I've definitely had games where I like launch Flare Blitz into something, let's switches in, it eats it up, and then my sash is broken, and then Blaziken just gets knocked out. Things that defensively Terra can be scary for it as well. For example, I had a game where I went Blaziken Dragapult, and my opponent had Fairy Terra on turn 1, which I didn't anticipate. I just ate a ton of damage, and then Dragon Darts obviously didn't do anything. Fairy type Pokemon and Fairy Terras in particular are a huge threat for this, so you'll want to be careful about that. And then Trick Room, I think, sometimes can be scary. Rilla, King Gambit, and Electabuzz make you have like answers into Trick Room comps, but because you can't protect with so many native Pokemon, and if you like commit to like Blaziken and Dragapult and you go up against Trick Room, then these Pokemon feel so bad because they're so frail and will just faint often before you really get the chance to move. So those are just a couple of things that I wanted to call out. We've got a very hyper-offensive Rain team here. Pelipper, Basculegion, Archaludon, Pawmot, Mousehold, and Annihilape. So let's see. Good mix between physical and special, though leaning more towards physical damage. Gambit, I think, with Assault Vest is really good, but you have to worry about Pawmot. We obviously have to respect something like the Mousehold plus the Annihilape. I don't know if it's going to be Population Bomb or Beat Up is the problem, which is a really nice bluff. Electabuzz here does have Thunderbolt. Rillaboom has Fake Out Pressure. Blaziken still does decent damage. And we can obviously use it for coaching. I think I want to go Blaziken plus Rilla, Gambit, and Dragapult in the back. Pre-Marina here feels a little bit too slow-paced to me. Like, I don't think it does enough, basically. And Electabuzz is, like, good for Thunderbolt into Pelipper, but I think it folds to too many things too quickly. Pelipper, Basculegion. Yeah, like, my fear here is if I had to bring out the Electabuzz, you just Wave Crash me, right? So this is interesting, because obviously I just pressure Grassy Glide onto Basculegion. This should feel compelled to maybe switch out. Like, I actually want to go for coaching here and then fake out into Pelipper. Because I think Rilla's really nice into Basculegion, right? So even if Basculegion attacks here because I have Focus Sash, it's totally fine. My main worry here is Covert Cloak or Ghost Terra Pelly, but yeah, they're going to switch out. I think like Archaludon would make a total sense switching in here right now. Yep. So we get Fake Out. And now I get a free attack and defense boost. So as long as you're not Covert Cloak here, this is a really good turn. Sweet. Now we get a speed boost. I'm kind of down to send it here. Stellar Close Combat. And Woodhammer. Because if Archaludon isn't defensive Terra here, and it's not sturdy, this can just demolish them. And even if it doesn't KO them, I think it's fine, because I don't think Rillaboom is fainting this turn. Okay. Blaziken goes for Stellar CC. Let's see. That is a one-hit KO, folks. It might seem so weird to bring Blaziken into Rain, but here we are. And now, +1 Woodhammer, boosted by Miracle Seed. I honestly wonder if Glide would have just gotten the KO here, but I also think Woodhammer like covers for a switch out option, so yeah. That could not have started off any better for us. I mean, now the question is, with the Basculegion in the back, do you even have a defensive Terra? Do you have Protect? Because if not, I can just Grassy Glide you for a knockout. But never count out Basculegion in the late game. Even though we have such a big lead, the game's not over by any means. Okay, Palmot plus Basculegion. Well, that's fine because we are... I mean, you can fake out into one slot. Like, they could fake out and Last Respect Cirilla right now. I don't mind just going for close combat into Palmot, because I have Sucker Punch into this, right? Close combat into you. I just think it could be worthwhile to actually switch into Dragapult, but I think it's also fine to have both Pokemon out here to guarantee that I get an attack off. Oh, they just end up forfeiting. Okay. The game wasn't over by any means. I think it's still possible for my opponent to pull off a comeback from that angle, but with Dragapult and Kingambit in the back, I think we were good. But hey, if you wanted a 2-turn demonstration for what Blaziken can do. Turn 1 coaching, boost our partner up. So I think that often lulls your opponents into thinking, hey, this is just like maybe a more defensive set, and then boom, just deal massive amounts of damage as well. But yeah. What I didn't want to do there was basically like throw away a Pokemon. Like, we have such a big lead at that point. We were just happy to trade damage, right? So they can fake out one slot, but then you have to take an attack with the other slot, right? If you fake out Blaziken, I get Grassy Glide off. If you fake out the Rillaboom, then Blaziken still has Focus Sash intact, and then I can just close combat your Palmot. So the main thing there is just like never letting loose from the pressure that we had. I think the main thing there is I could have considered maybe something like Protect Blaziken, switch Rilla out, sacrifice Dragapult, get the free switch and back into Rillaboom. Like, it feels bad to give up the attack and the defense boost, but then by doing that, like recycle Fake Out, for example. I think the main question I had is with the Basculegion, whether or not they were like choice banned. Mystic Water was the set that won the Baltimore Regional Championships, which I think allows, for more consistency because you can protect. If you are the classic Bandit set, then as soon as you lock into, say, Last Respects, then Kingambit in the back really walls you. But yeah, Blaziken was so sick in that one. Top 100 ranked opponent here using Whimsicott, Sylveon, Garchomp, Dragonite, Primarina, and Incineroar. So we've got Tailwind from Whimsicott, Dragons and Fairies. Dragapult here is going to be pretty scary given the dual fairies. Or sorry, triple fairies. Kingambit looks like it should be one of the best Pokemon in this matchup, but because we're Fire Terra, we have to be careful about Garchomp just consistently threatening us. Leading Dragapult's still interesting to just put on pressure into Garchomp in the early game. Primarina is also nice here. I could even see myself leading it. Rilla feels good. I mean, yeah, I think if I can get a coaching boost onto Gambit, that would be ideal. So I might lead Rilla, Gambit, or sorry, Blaziken, Gambit, Rilla in the back. And then for the last one, I think Primarina is better here. The problem with Dragapult is, like, no matter how good Dragon Darts feels until a Dragon types, it's just so useless until a Fairy types, and Triple Fairy is just so bad for Pult. So, let's see. Very cool team. A lot of just, like, classic fundamental Pokemon from VGC throughout the years. And it's going to be Whimsicott plus Sylveon. I will gladly take that. Okay. I think with this, I'm happy to just go for coaching turn 1. Coaching into Iron Head. Okay, they just set up Tailwind. That's fine by me. Hyper Voice, I assume. Yep. Feels like Specs damage to me. Let's get this boost on a Gambit. Now we'll knock out the Sylveon here in one shot. Cool. And now I can look towards pivoting Blaziken out into, say, Rillaboom this next turn. And then just going for Sucker Punch. Dragonite comes out. Dragonite's coming out. I'm thinking you probably want to low kick into the Kingambit slot. So I don't mind switching in Rilla, Terra here. I'm going to guess that they are multi-scale, but I'm still fine going for Kowtow Cleave. I don't want to Iron Head Whimsicott because I think it's just going to be Focus Sashed, and Whimsicott isn't really the main issue right now. If this ends up being Low Kick into the Gambit slot, I think we're in really good shape, but of course it could be like Stomping Tantrum. Okay, so we commit our Terra here. No Terra from their end. Makes sense. Fire Terra here, super good defensively into Moonblast. Moonblast could also activate Defiant. Yep, they do Moonblast into us. And it's Low Kick, perfect. Nice, we get Kowtow Cleave. Yeah, that looks like multi-skill to me. Which means I have a free Fake Out into you. I would think their last one's Garchomp, personally. It makes me wonder if this turn I should push the tempo and try to knock out Whimsicott. Because I think they're probably going to consider switching out. Yeah, like I could Fake Out Iron Head Whims right now, which I think is pretty good. I'm going to go for that. Okay, they don't switch. That's fine. Yep, it's not Covert Cloak. They just Low Kick again. And we survive on 2 HP. Oof, that was scary. I figured Dragonite there would actually consider switching out. Is that Choice Band damage to him? It kind of looks like it, right? But if that's Choice Band damage, that's obviously a big deal since we have Primarina in the back. The last one is Garchomp. Perfect. So yeah, I don't know if I needed to prioritize the knockout there that much, but to me, I just thought maybe Dragonite would consider switching out that turn. But maybe, for example, like Fake Out plus Sucker Punch there would have worked out totally fine, right? I've got Blaziken in the back. I don't mind resetting Rillaboom for Fake Outs. I'm happy to switch in right now and then go for Sucker Punch onto Dragonite. Oh, and they just end up forfeiting. Okay. So, I mean, I think it was definitely Choice Band. I was expecting to survive Low Kick, but that was maybe a little bit too close for comfort. But in my head, yeah, the other idea behind knocking out Whimsicott there is if you are Choice Banded, which I thought they were, then we just, like, get ourselves into a game state where you're stuck with a Choice Banded Pokemon out on the field in the late game, right? So, yeah. But yeah, that coaching boost, obviously, plus the Terror on Gambit allowed me to just soak up so much damage, right? What did it eat up in this game? A Hyper Voice, a Moonblast, and 2 Low Kicks from Dragonite, which was nuts. Rank number 10 here, okay. We've got Grim, Ursaluna, Annihilate, Volcarona, Goldengo, and Amoonguss. Okay. Assault Vest on something here would make sense. Like, normally you see Blood Moon, you expect just Life Orb, but I could see this being even like, yeah, like super bulky Blood Moon with AV. It's a lot of special damage, which isn't great for coaching. But I think Fire Terra Gambit here, it's okay, but the Blood Moon becomes a problem. Can I do anything fun with Dragapult here? Ideally, we deny screen, so I'm thinking of something like Rilla Primarina lead, so I could Fake Out and just Moonblast into Grim, and then finish it off with Grassy Glide. And then I think I want Blaziken Gambit in the back. Yeah. Electabuzz here. Like, it's worth bringing into Amoonguss, that's basically it. It's not a good Pult game, in my opinion, since they have Grimmsnarl and Screens. Like, Dragapult you really want to bring when you think you can, like, get one-hit knockouts with, and they have a lot of defense here. And because they have Ursaluna Blood Moon as well, I can't just go, like, Ghost Terra and Terra Blast everything. So let's see what they lead with. Grim Annihilate, okay. Generally okay by me. Primarina is obviously really good here. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some surprises here, like Covert Cloak Grim Or if they Ghost Terra this, for example. Because the obvious play that I want to make is just Fake Out into this and Moonblast into it. Annihilape should feel threatened here, but this also could be like Scarf Final Gambit Annihilape. Ideal outcome would be Annihilape protecting and we just knock out Grim on turn 1, but that might be wishful thinking, especially against such a highly ranked opponent. But I don't know what kind of Annihilape set this is, right? Like, bulk up would make sense. Yeah, and they do pivot out Grim, so nicely done. Into Golden Go. Fine by me. Question is, what does Annihilape go for now? Okay, it's just protect, so yeah. This was always like a very safe turn 1 from them to make. Not much I could have done to capitalize off it otherwise. But we at least deny screens, which is good. Decent damage from Moonblast, honestly. I've got Blaziken, I've got Gambit. You could Rage Fist now. This could obviously click Make It Rain. Like to Primarina could Steel Terror actually to get around that, right? I think I want to switch in Blaziken here. Terra. And Moonblast. I'm mainly curious if Annihilape Terra is here. I could have gone for U-turn here as well, I guess. But I don't want to stack up Rage Fist. They are going to Terra, okay. Into what is now the question. Oh, Golden Go Terras, okay. Into Steel. That is a really good outcome in my opinion, because it means that my Primarina obviously will resist with Steel Terra. If anything, I think I probably would have preferred to just lose Rillaboom here and get a free switch in into Blaziken, but Blaziken just threatens the Golden Go slot with Flare Blitz next turn. If you're Steel Terra, you're probably Choice Specs then. Cool. Okay, they just Rage Fruits and Primarina. This is a really good turn in my opinion. Should survive this. Yeah. Here's the Make It Rain. Perfect. We eat up our Citrus Berry. Citrus plus Lefties is just so much recovery right now as well, which is awesome. And here's Moonblast. And that's a one-hit KO. Sick. Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't, like, it was one of those where I was thinking, do I actually want the knockout? Because it gives my opponent a free switch in, but I'll take it. Yeah, Primarina ends up being so nice here. And baiting out Steel Terror from Golden Go is such a big deal. They just bring Grimmsnarl back out, okay? I would think this wants to switch right now, honestly. I've got Rilla and Gambit in the back. Nothing can switch into a Flare Blitz. I don't want them to get both screens up, though. And I think this really does have to switch, so I think here I actually prefer towards just KOing Grimmsnarl. Yeah, we want a Flare Blitz here. And Moonblast into you. Just eliminate one Pokemon from the field. Oh, they're actually gonna just click Thunder Wave here. Okay, that's fine by me. Thunder Wave and Shadow Ball. Okay, does that even KO me? It doesn't, but I'm gonna KO myself from Recoil, unfortunately. Moonblast into Grim almost eliminates it. And Flare Blitz into Grim. Yeah, like, the downside here is we don't get a super effective Flare Blitz to just knock out the Golden Go, but I thought Golden Go switching out there felt fairly likely. I guess to cover for Thunder Wave, I could have gone for... Well, actually, no, we survived from the Recoil anyway, with 1 HP. So Flare Blitz was fine. So we get another speed boost. Let's see what their last one is. Ursaluna Blood Moon, okay. Now I'm curious if this thing is Vacuum Wave. If you told me it did, I would not be shocked. I would like to protect here to get another speed boost. And click Hyper Voice here. I think the game probably would have just ended on the dot if I had clicked Flare Blitz into Golden Go, because then I get a free switch into Rilla, and then I can just fake out Hyper Voice, but it's fine. They go for a nasty plot, but that's okay. Okay, and Earth Power, nice play. But now I get a speed boost, so I can bring out the Rillaboom. Yep. Here's another boost. Bring out Rilla here. And with the Solvest Gambit in the back, I think we should be fine. Last turn of Grassy Terrain. So just close combat into you. And Woodhammer into you. They did have Vacuum Wave. So Vacuum Wave into Blaziken. But we KO'd the Ursaluna. I could have gone Fake Out there. Maybe Fake Out was just better. I was mainly thinking since Terrain is about to expire, I really want to just get the knockout onto it. And if they don't have Vacuum Wave, then we should be good. But yeah, I mentioned the possibility of it in team preview. But this is totally fine, right? Because now I just have the Assault Vest King Gambit into Golden Goal in the end game. So, but it is funny because I mentioned that like I felt like they probably had Vacuum Wave in this one, and they did. And given that they didn't protect, I'm guessing that they actually might have been Assault Vested. So yeah, I could have gone Fake Out Flare Blitz there, but that's okay. Because in my head, like King Gambit should always win an end game against the Golden Goal, right? Like you're neutral. We have Assault Vest here. Yeah. I actually don't know what's stronger between Low Kick and Kowtow Cleave. Let me see how much Low Kick does. Okay, they just go for Steel Terror, make it rain, but with Assault Vest. And with you not being choice specs, it's totally fine. Yeah. Cool. Low Kick comes out. Yeah, looks like a 2-hit KO. They just go for Make It Rain again. Even if you crit here, you don't win. Nice. And that's why I just wanted to, yeah, get rid of the Ursaluna as quickly as we could. Okay. They survive. So they theoretically could go for, like, Nasty Plot here. So I'm just going to Low Kick again. Okay, they protect. That's fine. What we don't want to do is Sucker Punch. Like, if they crit, they crit. So be it. I'd rather take that chance than giving them the opportunity of coming back into this game. But they do correctly click Make It Rain rather than Nasty Plot, which is well done. Yeah, cool. And Low Kick should do it off here. Nice. I think Kowtow Cleave might actually be stronger, so I want to calc that real quick. But I'm not 100% sure. It's just like pretty rare for you to actually end up clicking Low Kick into Golden Goal, unless of course they go for a Terra. But yeah. I think like not knowing the damage calc off the top of my head there meant that it opened myself up to losing this game potentially by getting a little bit unlucky. So let's pull up the calc and take a look. So Low Kick is actually slightly weaker than Kowtow Cleave, so in that endgame it definitely would have been more optimal to just click Kowtow Cleave, and given that Golden Goal was actually able to hang on from 2 Low Kicks despite the first one doing just over 50%, you know, slightly better chance to potentially knock out Golden Goal with 2 Kowtow Cleaves rather than having to go for 3 attacks. Obviously by going for a 3rd attack, it opens up the chance for my opponent to get a critical hit, so if we want to reduce the variance that happens in that endgame, you obviously want to be clicking the stronger move. But it's always good to double check these things at the end of a game because it's very easy to not know these off the top of your head, specifically base powers for Low Kick against all of the different Pokemon that you can go up against. And so yeah, 60 base power means that you are going to be slightly weaker, even though you do super effective damage because of Kowtow Cleave's base being stronger, and then same type attack bonus as well. And then there's also the mind game of like, do I want to click Sucker Punch at any point in that end game? But I would rather just go for the guaranteed damage, because with Sucker Punch, if they click Nasty Plot at any point, then it opens up the, you know, Nasty Plot end game where maybe they actually stall out all of my Sucker Punch PP and then just win the game with the Make It Rain. No reason to let it devolve into that, in my opinion. Ooh, okay, we've got a lot of fun mons here. Hisuian Typhlosion, Zoroark, as well as the Sneasler, Milo, Whimsicott, Rilla. Sneasler is really scary. If we clear Whimsicott, Dragapult looks really good. Gambit is really good with Sucker Punch pressure. I might just be Blaziken Gambit again, honestly. Like, I think the Assault Vest here is so good, and if we get a coaching boost, Sneasler being able to close combat us is not ideal. I like Pult in the back. Rilla doesn't feel that good, right? It's good for Fake Out into Whims. I mean, Grassy Glide from this is no joke either. There's a part of me that's actually thinking Electabuzz for redirection. I like Primarina here, I think. Do I? No, I think I like Rilla more. The decision to bring Rilla here in the end was the combination of Fake Out plus just fast priority Grassy Glide. I think my problem with Primarina is that it's just going to get outpaced by my opponent's team. It was a little bit compelling to bring it potentially into Typhlosion, but I think we're fine against Typhlosion anyway. What's caught Sneasler? Okay. So now the question is, are you actually Sneasler? Or are you Zoroark? If you're actually Sneasler, what I could do is switch King Gambit out into Dragapult and go for coaching on turn 1. I'm kind of down for that. Okay, coaching, bring you in. And then what I can do is Ghost Terra with the Dragapult. So I'm hoping they go like close combat Tailwind turn 1. Okay, it is Tailwind, nice. Is it close combat? Oh, it's crazy because there is a world in which I just Fire Terra there. Not only is it Zoroark, it's Will-O-Wisp Zoroark. Well, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. Huh. What do I even do? Okay, at least I know you're Zoroark. It means though that Gambit's actually pretty good because I can Fire Terra it. I could see them going for Shadow Ball now and Moonblast. I might actually just go for another coaching and then switch back into Gambit and then Fire Terra Gambit. But at least we know that now you are Zoroark. Okay, they go for Encore, but I was happy clicking coaching here anyway, honestly, so that's not bad. Shadow Ball, but this could activate Defiant right now. Yeah, we don't take much damage. No Defiant, but that's fine. So here's coaching. Low key, I'm down to just stay in and keep clicking coaching right now. Just give me another boost. Coaching. Terra. Kowtow Cleave. Because, like, their current duo just isn't exerting that much offensive pressure, right? And Blaziken does have the Focus Sash intact as well. I'm curious where the Sash is on their end. Sneasler, Zoroark, Whimsicott are all Pokemon that like to carry it. I actually wouldn't mind Zoroark having it right now. Cool, they Will-O-Wisp us, but we're Fire Terra. Yep, Moonblast on the Blaziken. Does less than half. Drop special attack, drop, which is fine. Here's another coaching. Okay. Now Gambit gets the Kowtow Cleave into Sneasler, which is Zoroark, and the Sash indeed is there. That's totally fine with me, okay. Do I want to switch out the Blaziken now is the question. Illusion wears off. Here's another speed boost. Because they could double up onto Blaziken right now. Could switch into Dragapult or Rilla. Gambit's really well positioned in my opinion. I don't think a third boost really matters much. I do want to get the knockout onto this right now. But I actually don't think it's worth switching out. So I'm happy to just go for another coaching and then Iron Head into Whims. Okay, they go for Hyper Voice. Blaziken survives. We get crit, which is less than ideal. This is just overkill since we didn't need any coaching boosts likely to bring Zoroark down to Sash or KO Whimsicott. But they'll get rid of Blaziken here. We obviously know that they have a Sneasler in the back, but with +3 defense, the King Gambit's obviously in great shape. Now I can bring out the Rillaboom, which also sets up grassy terrain, gives me fake out into pressure into whatever's coming in. Tailwind is petered out. I could also just go into Polt. Rilla or Polt? Sneasler could come out. I'm actually down to bring out Dragapult right now. And they bring out Rillaboom. Okay, perfect. That works for me. Dragapult here is safe to just click Dragon Darts. I think like Gambit is just fully enabled right now, right? Like, you have 2 physical attackers as your remaining 2. So they have to click Fake Out, in my opinion, onto King Gambit here. But that means I can just knock out your Zoroark. What do I actually want to click here? Their last one should be the Sneasler. I think here I'm okay going for U-turn and Kowtow Cleave. Okay, Fake Out into Gambit, that's fine. I'll knock your Zoroark out. Now you have no more Fake Out pressure, so I bring out Rillaboom. If your Sneasler doesn't have Fake Out, I just click Fake Out into your Sneasler, Kowtow Cleave, knock out Rillaboom, and then it's a 3v1 against your Sneasler. Cool. So Rilla comes out. Gambit flinches, but now we heal back from grassy terrain. And obviously Sneasler is their last one. Normally going to be that grassy seed with this kind of composition. There it is. You can get the defense boost. Yep. But that's fine. +1 defense. +3 on both of our stats here. So I'm going to click Fake Out into Sneasler and then Kowtow Cleave into Rillaboom. And then, yeah, if Sneasler is not either Ghost Terra, it's very rarely Ghost Terra. Oh, that's cute. Upper hand. Okay. I have not actually really seen that much, but that's a very neat move. High horsepower, but doesn't get a critical hit. Nice. So now we just knock out Rillaboom. Honestly, I'd rather see upper hand than have them like be able to click Fake Out into King Gambit. And just deny us the opportunity to attack for a turn. So that's fine. You could Dire Claw into this. Your best bet at this point is probably hope for close combat crit onto me here. Or Dire Claw into here. Down to switch out into Dragapult to reset Fake Out. And also avoid just getting KO'd by close combat or Dire Claw. And then just Iron Head here into Sneasler. I wonder if it's better to actually just click Sucker Punch here, but with us being at, even with us being at +3, like, they resist and they have the defense boost, so I'd rather just say, you know what, you need to get lucky right now. Yeah, they are going to Dire Claws here. Only does 30 damage. It's poison, that's fine. It's the best one to roll out of all of them. Cool. Iron Head into Sneasler. And that's King Gambit plus Blaziken, folks. Despite us running into the Hisuian Zoroark disguised and being able to burn us, the Fire Terror on King Gambit was absolutely huge here. And that's one of the reasons why you'd want to consider running Fire Terror. Obviously good defensively against fire types, but also helps a ton against Will-O-Wisp. So that was super, super valuable. And even though our Dragapult got burned, we were able to just get King Gambit back in, and they just never had very much offensive pressure into us, right? Especially with the decision to end up not bringing my Lodic in this one. Okay, there is a Porygon Z here. Hisuian Arcanine, Rillaboom, Talonflame, Sneasler, Porygon Z, Farigiraf. A lot of physical attackers. Porygon Z obviously is not a physical attacker though. They have a good bit of Prio as well, so you can like fake out Brave Bird into Blaziken. I mean, Dragapult looks really good here, right? But I'm worried about, like, Talonflame sets up Tailwind and then Porygon Z, like, Dark Pulses me. Sash Blaziken can be very good in a Porygon because we can just, like, close combat you. Priority is a little bit less effective. I think I'm down for just the classic Blaziken Gambit lead. Pult in the back. I actually think Electabuzz could be interesting for this one for redirection to protect my Pokemon a little bit more. Okay, I'm down for it. Because, like, Rilla into Arcanine, Talonflame, and Sneasler doesn't feel great. Primarina into Sneasler, Rilla doesn't feel great. And the idea behind Electabuzz is if I get boosted, I can just bring Electabuzz out and then go for Follow Me to protect the Kingambit or the Dragapult. Sneasler, Talonflame, okay. So, I think with this lead, I don't know, Sneasler pressures Fake Out, right? You pressure Fake Out Brave Bird immediately, which is not good. Would you really just Fake Out Brave Bird is my question. Because I want to switch in a Dragapult right now. I kind of want to go for Coaching here. Coaching, switch in a Pult, but this is risky because obviously they could just double up onto Blaziken. The question is how much do they respect Blaziken as a threat and do they expect Focus Sash? Okay, so Pults hit the field. Good start already. I'm happy with that. Ooh, SD. Okay. If you're just the Dire Claw set, though. Dire Claw, Close Combat, Swords Dance, Protect, it's fine. Now I get a Speed Boost as well. So now I would think you would Tailwind. Tailwind and Protect actually would make sense. If it's Tailwind Protect, I'm actually thinking about switching an Electabuzz here. I'm also thinking about going for another Coaching immediately right now. And Darts. Okay, I'm down. Because this should be Grassy Seed, right? On Sneasler. Okay, they're switching out, so it should be Rilla coming in. The question now is, are you Night Slash? Because if so, then you hit Dragapult for super effective. But that would mean you give up one of Protect or your attacking moves. So I'm hoping here they just go for Dire Claw or Close Combat. If so, I think we're in excellent shape. Oh, they're just going for... Okay. And no status condition. That's huge. Cool. So Blaziken gets another Coaching off. Beautiful. Now we get +2 Choice Band Dragon Darts to do 75% to Rillaboom and 90% to Sneasler. That's so much damage. Cool. There's another Speed Boost. Their play made sense, though. I think you're just hoping for, yeah, secondary effects from Dire Claw at that point. I'll survive a double up with +2 defense here for sure. I could switch in Electabuzz, but I also don't want to give up the speed boosts I've got in here. Don't want to break my Sash. I'm down to go for Close Combat into you. And Darts. Okay, Sneasler protects, that's fine. And Rilla's not going to go for Fake Out here, so Darts should just knock out Rillaboom. My Focus Sash is still intact as well. Beautiful. Bye-bye. Sneasler heals. We heal. Blaziken gets another speed boost. I mean, you need to bring Talonflame right now just to set up Tailwind, but even with Tailwind, Darts just KOs, right? So they need, like, secondary effect immediately onto Dragapult. Does close combat actually KO Sneasler now that you've healed a little bit from the terrain? I would think so, still. I'm actually thinking about clicking Flare Blitz though. Yeah, I'd rather guarantee the KO here. So Flare Blitz starts. Oh, they just Brave Bird. Okay, they're hoping for a crit, I guess. Because I'll definitely survive a... Yeah. I'll definitely survive even, like, a boosted Brave Bird there. And since Blaziken's gotten all the speed boosts now, we just outspeed Sneasler as well. The main thing is we were lucky Sneasler didn't get, you know, any major secondary effects onto our Dragapult. But yeah, Sneasler, or Blaziken was just able to boost up Dragapult in this one, and it just got out of control really quickly. This is the upside of this running into the Sword Stance Sneasler sets. They often can't run a Dark type attack. It's not uncommon for Sneasler to run Dark Terra Night Slash, for example. Or Throat Chop. And Porygon's the last one, so we can just close combat darts here. Yeah. And I think them not setting up Tailwind also punished them in the end, since our Blaziken got to a point where it was actually faster than the Sneasler, which is really nice as well. Okay, we've got Dragapult, Sneasler, Electabuzz, Kingambit, Primarina, Rillaboom. This is a fairly common archetype. I guess it's actually very similar to what we have here. We just have Blaziken over Sneasler. Oh yeah, here I am saying like common archetype, but in reality we're actually almost running the exact same thing. Okay, I think Blaziken should give us a big advantage though with coaching. Blaziken Gambit. Lead. Yeah, I mean, Blaziken Gambit, Blaziken Dragapult are both so strong. They're, like, the key difference is I have Blaziken, they have Sneasler, right? So Sneasler, decently offensive threat into us. We've been lucky that we haven't really gotten major secondary effects from it throughout the course of this video, even though we fought it a bunch. But yeah, I like really Blaziken Gambit, Pult. For the last one, I might go Electabuzz for redirection. Like, Rilla's really weak offensively into so much of the team. And we haven't really been able to bring Buzz out very much, and I think it makes sense here. Because I think, basically, even though we have 5 to 6 Mons, I can play this in a completely different manner, where I get coaching boosts, and then support whatever is boosted with Electabuzz, whereas my opponent might focus on Sneasler, for example. Sneasler, Primarina, yeah, already in completely different approaches in this one. This lead, though, I think is not great for us, because you have Fake Out pressure. And you pressure close combat on the Gambit. This is a very good lead by them. I'll tell you, the play I want to make the most is Protect turn 1, switch into Pult, but this is risky. They could just, like, theoretically Moonblast into Dragapult. But, yeah, I think they outled me here, so I gotta go for it. No Terra. Now I pressure with coaching Ghost Terra next turn. Oh, they just went straight for Dire Claw. Okay. Dire Claw Hyper Voice? That would make sense. Yeah. And with Fire Terra, Gambit, I can't just like they threaten with so much offense, right? Where that did so much, by the way. Okay, that's because it's Life Orb. That makes sense. There's a speed boost. Rilla would have been good, because then, like, create this win condition where I just try to knock out Sneasler, although Sneasler's probably Focus Sashed. What I want to do is coaching. Terra Blast, but it feels so bad to commit Terra like that, right? I'm gonna go for it though. Okay, that's good. Gambit though. Buzz, 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 buzz. Okay. If they're doing that, I'm guessing Primarina is going for a protect this turn. Which is not ideal, because then they can just follow me next turn. Oh, is it no protect? That's huge if so, because I get my coaching. Nice. And there's Terra Blast. Okay, that worked. Still a scary spot to be in, but I will gladly take that turn as we eliminate Primarina. Okay. What do you bring out? Gambit. Okay, Gambit can obviously Sucker Punch me here. This probably wants to go for Follow Me. I want to force them to Sucker though, I think. They also didn't... It's Sneasler. I mean, it might be Sash Sneasler. The Sucker Punch is so obvious, I'm actually thinking of still just attacking here. I want to go close combat into you. But alternatively, I think I can go coaching here and then switch in a Gambit, which I'm not opposed to. Because I think Dragapult will beat Electabuzz and Sneasler in the long run. Yeah, they go for, like, Follow Me Sucker Punch is the obvious play, right? Let's see if they made it. Oh, they didn't. Okay, nicely done. Swords Dance? If you're SD, though, I think that you... Would you have Low Kick, is the question? Because if you don't have Low Kick, I think you're still in a ton of trouble right now. I want to go for another coaching and Low Kick into Gambit. Okay, they Terra. Yeah, I don't, like, because normally when people would run Swords Dance Gambit, they'd run Swords Dance double Dark type attack, Protect, and it's Dark Terra here, so let's see if that is what is the case here. Yep, just another Follow Me, which is fine. We get another coaching. Do you have Low Kick? Well, first we move. Okay, and they just Kowtow Cleave, that's fine. Into Blaziken, which will survive thanks to Sash. Yep. You would think they Follow Me again, right? The question is whether or not they Sucker Punch. I think they might not. The question is whether or not I want to go for a third coaching here. But with Electabuzz support in this endgame, I think we're in decent shape. I'm down to go just for close combat here and then Low Kick instead of coaching. Because, yeah, it seems like they are kind of prone to clicking. Yeah, here's close combat. Nice. Ooh. Buzz survives that. Okay. Although, I actually think that's fine. They're going to activate Defiant. Okay. Faint. Low Kick into your Protect. So I can bring out Electabuzz now. Electabuzz. If I bring out Dragapult, they'll just Follow Me and Sucker Punch, right? So I'll bring out Buzz. I mean, I personally want to Thunderbolt Electabuzz here and just Low Kick. The question is whether or not they Sucker Punch Electabuzz here, because obviously you have to respect me just going for like follow me, right? I actually do think Sucker Punch is a pretty consistent play, because even if I don't attack with it, it's fine, because then you get a free switch it back. But right now I see, like, if they make the wrong move this turn and they don't click Sucker Punch, I can just win the game, which is why I'm going to go for this. Because I think Electabuzz here, like, okay, they follow me. Yeah, that's fine. Gambit here. Nice, doesn't Sucker Punch. Yep, so Thunderbolt finishes them off. Low kick now goes into their Gambit. So unless their Gambit actually has had low kick this entire time, should be game over. Okay, they Kowtow Cleave. Yep. Perfect. But now I just knock out your Gambit, and then it's 2v1 against Sneasler, and I have Dragapult, which can Dragon Darts you, and Sucker Punch with King Gambit. Beautiful. Yeah, this is why I think Dark Terra, like the Swords Dance Black Glasses Dark Terra set, which was very popular in previous regulations, is not very good right now because King Gambit's so common. You're going to run into King Gambit versus King Gambit really frequently, and having something like even with Swords Dance, even with Dark Terra Black Glasses, you still don't pressure that much damage into our Gambit, right? So Sneasler comes back out, but now he can just Dragon Darts. They didn't... No, they did Terra this game, yeah. So Darts here, and just go for Sucker Punch here. Yeah. I think the really big play this turn was being able to snipe down the Primarina with coaching into Terra Blast. If Primarina had just protected that turn, Electabuzz would have been able to come in for free, and then they could have just gone for Follow Me and then just start attacking with Primarina. But knocking out Primarina basically opened the game back up for us, and Gambit being able to switch in and, you know, get a couple of free coachings off was absolutely huge. Oh, no way. We are up against Fedi Campo, who was top 4 at the World Championships, not this year, but last year. Just one of the best players from Europe, coming from Italy, and he also made day 2 at the World Championships this year. And when Scarlet and Violet VGC first came out, in my eyes, like, I remember he was dominating, like, every online tournament, just such an impressive player. He's certainly continued that level of success and consistency, so really exciting to go up against him here. We've on an amazing streak with Blaziken, but, you know, if there's any opponent who can take it down, I think it's him, so let's see. He's got Triple Dragon with our Chowdon, Garchomp, Dragonite, Golden Gull, Whimsicott, and the Vivian? So what do I want to do? Electabuzz maybe? Because of Vital Spirit? We would definitely want the priority. Getting a coaching boost would be huge. From Blaziken onto something. There is a part of me that just wants to lead Blaziken Dragapult, even though it seems like the obvious lead. I'm going Rilla Gambit in the back. It feels very weird to not bring Primarina into this one, but my problem with Primarina is that it's like too slow, and we don't have like a Life Orb or a Specs either, so I actually wouldn't expect Moonblast to pick up, you know, a one-hit knockout onto a lot. Dragonite could be multi-scale. Garchomp could just defensively Terra. It's our Chowdon Whimsicott. I am threatened by Beat Up immediately here. So many of our Chowdons these days on ladder are sturdy. Power Herb. So, like, I want to switch in a Gambit here, I think, and then close combat our Chowdon. Yeah. I led Dragapult here to catch the dragons, like if they went, you know, any combination of Dragonite and Garchomp. Not any combination, just like, I guess those with our Chowdon, but with the Whims being led here, Pult's not in a great spot. Okay, they go for Electro Shot. Nicely done. It's gonna go into Blaziken, presumably. Yep, there's the Power Herb. Oh, did they target Pult? That's a really nice play. Nicely done. We'll get close combat, though. Not the end of the world. So now the good thing is I pressure with Sucker Punch and Flare Blitz, but yeah, it is the Sturdy on Archaladon. And to be honest, Whimsicott's probably Focus Sashed here as well. Sucker Punch is also, like, super duper obvious here. So I wonder if there's a world in which, like, I don't go for it. Do I feel like I'm that far behind in this game to make me need to make a read, though? I think this time I'm just going to Flare Blitz Sucker. Okay, our Archaladon just protects, but that's fine. It's a turn of Tailwind Burnt. And, like, I could have doubled up onto Whimsicott here, but I actually don't mind Whimsicott surviving the turn because it prevents just free switch-ins immediately for them. Oh, it's not Sash Whims, okay. So, probably still Covert Cloak then? Okay, Blaziken hangs on with 3. We get another speed boost. Garchomp comes out now. Chomp comes out. You would think Archaladon switches out now, right? Like Archaladon into Vivian or Dragonite makes sense. And then Stomping Tantrum into Blaziken. Or sorry, into Kingambit. I lean towards going for Protect here, and then Sucker into Garchomp. Yep, Archaladon switches. Dragonite comes out. Blaziken protects. See, I mean, Dragapult in this endgame now is looking really interesting with Dragon Darts across the board. Oh, Dragon Claw into Gambit. Okay, expecting a Terra. We get crit. And their Life Orb. It's just under a KO. But it's the last turn of Tailwind, which means Dragapult's going to be in really good shape. Don't think I want to switch in either of these. I'm leaning towards just Close Combat Dragonite, which would break Multiscale, and then Sucker Punch and a Jump. Okay, Chomp protects, yeah. E-Speed Blaziken, smart. This does grant me the free switch in, though, into Dragapult now. That was a really good play. Okay. Tailwind Peters out. Let's bring out Pult. Let's get E-Speed into this. I'm almost thinking I want to... Because, like, I mean, Darts is so strong, but what am I worried about? Because, like, Ghost Terra Terra Blast is pretty safe right now, in my opinion. So even though Darts seems like the obvious choice, what I'm worried about is Multiscale Dragonite and Defensive Terra Garchomp. So I want to Terra Blast Garchomp. Kowtow Cleave Dragonite. The ideal outcome would be like Garchomp tries to defensively Terra right now, and then we just snipe it with a KO. Because if Dragonite can't Terra, it's actually very weak into this Dragapult as well. Okay, show me Garchomp Terra. Nice. Nice. This is huge because, yeah, I think Rilla Pult now in this endgame looks really good. Even though Dragon Darts looks so compelling into Triple Dragon, yeah, it's not the move I wanted to go for. If we didn't get crit by that Dragon Claw, I bet Gambit would have survived E-Speed here too, so I would have been able to pressure Sucker Punch, but this is fine. Now we get Ghost Terra Blast into Chomp. Cool. And like I'm fairly sure it's gonna be multi-scale on Dragonite. I'm not 100% though. I'm gonna bring out Rilla. Chaladon's obviously in the back. But it has no item. It could still Draco Meteor me, but Draco's not going to be enough for a KO. I think here I don't mind just going Terra Blast into Dragonite. I just don't think Dragonite should be able to hit Dragapult here. Oh, it could be the Scale Shot set, right? That actually would give me trouble. It's a question of whether or not we think our Chaladon protects this turn. I want to Terra Blast Dragonite, I think. The question is, yeah, I'm just going to fake out our Chaladon. But they do protect, okay. So now it's a question of are you Scale Shot? Because I think if you're not, 2 Terra Blast should still be a KO with multi-scale. But the question is this turn, should I have launched Fake Out into Dragonite as well? But here's Choice Band Terra Blast. Oh, it's not multi-scale. Okay. Ice Spinner. Okay. If that's the set, then there should be no way of handling Dragapult, so I'll just Terra Blast into our Chaladon. Woodhammer into Dragonite. He goes for the double and gets it, though. Okay. I mean, I think it's still fine, but... Let's see. Okay, we're just faster. Does this KO? But it's just another Ice Spinner. Is it the loaded dice set? Ice Spinner, E-Speed? I don't think so. But what if the last one were Outrage? Because I should definitely survive Draco from our Chaladon, but I really don't want to throw by attacking into a Protect. I'm gonna Terra Blast our Chaladon. Okay, he goes for a triple, which is a good sign. Crazy game either way. I think with Rilla, since we're offensive Rilla, well, I mean, their Chaladon should be max special attack, max speed, right? Okay, it's just Ice Spinner. Cool. I figured we should be fine against Dragonite in the long run with Dragapult, but for it to have hung on from Terra Blast and then Woodhammer made it scary. But that was an exhilarating game. Yeah, we were able to put Dragapult into a really good spot. I think, yeah, be able to use Blaziken to offensive pressure early and also, like, make sure that they didn't get all of their sweepers out while Tailwind was up was a really big deal. And I think what was really key in this game was going for the Terra Blast rather than locking into Dragon Darts. Because Darts, like the Garchomp, would have just survived that turn and then retaliated back with way too much damage. We wouldn't have fainted, but enough where one more attack KOs us. Alright, this streak with Blaziken has been absolutely crazy. So let's see what we've got in this one. Espeon, Indeedee, Gallade, Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Torkoal, as well as the Meowscarada. It's an interesting Trick Room team. But, like, Espeon's obviously fast. Gambit with the Salt Vest should be really good here. They're so, like, specially oriented, and also Sacred Sword ignores defense boosts, which is not great. I'm intrigued by Electabuzz here because it's Dark Terra with Taunt, so it's specifically very good into Psy Spam. If they want to set up Trick Room, you can go Indeedee, Gallade. I feel like Primarina probably should be brought. Rilla should be brought. Gambit should be brought. Buzz? Do I really draw Blaziken? Because with Sash, I actually think it's meaningful. Ah, this is tough. Okay, I mean, intuition is to lead Electabuzz here. Electabuzz, Gambit, Primarina, Rilla. Ah, but I'm dropping Blaziken. I feel so bad. I think like the main thing that's awkward about Blaziken in this matchup is like obviously they're gonna want to set up try to set up Trick Room in a lot of cases, and so in those scenarios, then Blaziken just like this ability is not relevant, right? But it's actually still interesting because of Focus Sash and the offense that it offers, right? While my opponent also has Torkoal, so they set up a Sun, we can take advantage of that. Blaziken into this lead, actually not terrible. Meowscarada Espeon. Definitely not a lead I was expecting. I lean towards just Protect turn 1. Low kick into Meowscarada. Espeon's not really scary unless, I don't know, you have... Does Espeon get Focus Blast? Uh-oh. Watch it be fighting Terra Blast. Oh no. Okay, it's just Fairy. That's fine, because I can just Iron Head you. Electabuzz is going to Protect. Oh. Well, that feels bad. Low kick on Meowscarada. And then they just Dazzling Gleam. I could have just gone Follow Me. I just didn't think I was at any risk of, yeah, taking damage there. It's going to be really hard to come back from that, I think. Because I'm slower. Like, the speed is a pretty big issue for me right now. Let me try to find a way back into this. Bring Rillaboom. Yeah, like, I didn't go Blaziken mode in this game because they had so many slow Pokemon, but then they went with a really nice lead here, and then they had a big surprise as well. I guess I could have Fire Terror to get around that. It's just like... I think this is... What just happened here is, like, one of the easiest ways you can lose in Best of One, which is, like, not covering for a random coverage move that just, like, destroys your Pokemon because your 4X super effective against it. I just... Especially with Electabuzz, I was like, you know, I figured they'd have to respect Follow Me as well, which is why I thought I would be safe, but I could have just gone for the safe Follow Me, so... Yeah, that was well done by my opponent. Just low kick Meowscarada. Not something you see that frequently. Thunderbolt into you and just Woodhammer into Espeon. Okay, it's probably a switch into Indeedee. Yeah. Such a shame because Gambit was so good in this matchup. Psychic Seed, yep. Problem is Espeon's gonna be faster, right? Oh, but they still like Gleam, interesting. I wonder if that's because they're choiced. Kind of looks like choice damage to me, but I'm not 100% sure. I assume Woodhammer does not KO them. Oh, it does still. Okay. You know what? This is still potentially doable then. The problem is just like I'm down to such little offense already, right? Like it's just Rilla and Primarina. You bring Meowscarada back out. That can obviously click Knock Off. Or Flower Trick, or U-Turn. I want to say it's banded Meowscarada if they had low kick like that. I think I need to take a big risk or two to win this one anyway. So I'm going to go for the Protect on Electabuzz again. And you turn into Meowscarada. Okay, they do go for knockoff, which is good. But they target Rillaboom. Nicely done. This is the problem with having Electabuzz out on the field, right? Like, you can just safely target what's next to it because you don't lose very much. Indeed goes for Psychic. Okay. I'll bring Primarina out. I think I could still maybe win this if I catch them off guard. Dark Terra, follow me. And then Moonblast. Let's say they go knock off Psychic again. If they're choice banded, I redirect all that away. And then I just knock out Meowscarada. And then it's Primarina plus Electabuzz against Indeedee plus their final one. And if it's like Torkoal or Ursaluna, we still maybe have a chance. So there's Follow Me from Buzz. Okay. Good. If that was Choice Band Meowscarada, which I think it was, then I actually think I could have gone Taunt here. Yeah. Set up Trick Room. Taunt, Dark Terra, Moonblast would have maybe been game-winning here. I think it was. No, it wouldn't have won us the game immediately, because then... But it would have put us in a really good spot, right? Because then I can just go for Hyper Voice twice to KO this. 2 turns of Psychic Terrain. I think my best bet is protect Hyper Voice and to follow me. But I think they can just Helping Hand Hyper Voice twice. That might just KO Primarina. Yeah, I just totally got caught off guard by the... Okay, it is Hyper Voice here. I mean, if this is not a 2-hit knockout with Citrus Berry, we have a chance. That did what? 110 damage? Oh my gosh, we took exactly 110 in terms of... Well, it's possible then to win. I guess the problem is there still would be 3 turns of Trick Room, because then Indeedee Psychic would finish me off. But yeah, I'd go for Follow Me here in case for some reason they click Blood Moon or Earth Power. And I'll Hyper Voice again. There's Follow Me. Wait. I don't think it makes a difference because they were going to go for Psychic there anyway. I do think Primarina would have hung on from Psychic though. Like, I want to say the Helping Hand Hyper Voice should be stronger than Psychic. So if we hang on there, Hyper Voice knocks out them, brings Indeedee down, and then what I probably need is a double protect, right? Double protect into Moonblast, but yeah. Meowscarada with the low kick turn 1 just completely caught me off guard. So Blaziken actually would have worked out really nicely into my opponent's lead, like something like Blaziken plus Gambit. Although, I don't know. I think the reality is I'm just like not normally going to cover for a fighting type attack from the Meowscarada. But I guess in retrospect, like if you think about... Yeah, I mean, with the Electabuzz, the whole idea behind bringing it is Dark Terra plus Taunt is really good. I also could have just taunted Indeedee, like the turn that I got hit by the knockoff, because I just wasn't sure if they were choice banded with Meowscarada was the problem. And not knowing, like, not being able to confirm the item was bad. And I think my Electabuzz would have been able to survive the Dark Terra knockoff. And so would have allowed me, if I had conserved my Terra with Primarina, I would have actually been able to resist the Hyper Voices as well, which was a big deal. So it might have been better to Terra with Primarina, but you know, I didn't know what my opponent's last Pokemon was at that point. But yeah, I think that turn 1 just highlights how like surprise moves can give you such a big advantage in best of 1, because King Gambit has been like such an important Pokemon for us on this team, and normally it's not at that much risk of getting KO'd because I have like either a defense boost onto it, or I have I even had redirection support. I just like didn't think I needed to follow me there because I was like, oh, they're gonna like very obviously knock off into the Electabuzz slot. But yeah, they caught me off guard there and then clicked Trick Room just at the right time. But I wonder if I would have survived Psychic there without the critical hit, because if so, I think, yeah, then we're actually potentially just a double protect away from winning that game. But I'm also not sure that another Hyper Voice into Moonblast actually KOs NDD. So it's just a shame because I had the opportunity to potentially taunt NDD. And I needed to probably take some risks in this game anyway. So I don't think I needed to go for Follow Me, since, yeah, like I thought it might have been Choice Band Meowscarada, and they did end up just going for knockoff again. But yeah, I wish we could confirm for sure. All right, we've got Golden Go, Ursaluna, Tyranitar, Porygon 2, Incin, and Amoonguss here. This is one of the standard comps running around right now. Tyranitar over Flamigo is one that's been very dominant lately. So it's interesting because Blaziken's amazing offensively here. Actually hits their entire team for super effective damage. Electabuzz does have Taunt, but Blaziken Gambit I generally really like as a lead here. Rilla's really good. Because like with Rilla Gambit, even if they set up Trick Room, we just pressure Sucker Punch Grassy Glide to threaten Ursaluna. And then I lean towards Electabuzz as the last one, although Primarina is obviously very good offensively. Dragapult I don't think we bring into this one. They have double normal types. Dragon Darts isn't that strong either. So these three is very clear. It's a question of, do I want Buzz or Primarina? The main appeal for Electabuzz is to just give me some protection against the Amoonguss. It also helps me taunt Porygon. Okay, I'll bring Electabuzz. Because I think, yeah, a boosted Gambit here should be very good. The main thing to worry about is fighting Terra Porygon 2. Which is actually not uncommon. Like, that has been rising in usage to tech against King Gambit. So let's see if they have that. Porygon plus Incin. Okay, so I get a Defiant boost immediately. That's cool. Low-key, I think I want to just Terra Gambit immediately, not gonna lie, just so that I can, like, I'm really worried about fighting Terra Blast Porygon. I would think they're gonna click Fake Out into Gambit, so good opportunity to go for coaching. Going for Fire Terra is totally fine in this one. I'm already weak to Ursaluna anyway. It just means I lose my optionality with Gambit. Maybe I'm just a little bit scared after that last game against Meowscarada, but... It also means that we resist Flare Blitz from Incin, so I think this is a fine play. Okay. And I'm actually gonna not hit Incin here, because I think my opponent having Incin is actually a liability for them. I also think Fire Terra is worth it here because it covers for Will-O-Wisp Incin as well, so yeah. It's not just fear of fighting Terra Blast Porygon, it's respecting a bunch of different things from their end. Okay, they do go for Fake Out into Blaziken. We flinch. +1 Kowtow Cleave into Porygon. It's pretty bulky. As they set up Trick Room, okay. I thought that would at least be a 2-hit knockout, so the fact it's not makes me a little sad. Now I'm down to go for coaching onto Gambit. And low kick onto Incin. I just don't know if I get this coaching off, because Porygon with Terra Blast might just knock out Blaziken. Oh, but they go for Recover. Okay, that's huge. Nice. We outspeed under Trick Room. Ah, that's fine. They're going to Parting Shot Blaziken, but Blaziken's not looking to deal damage here anyway. I guess the problem, though, is that Ursaluna comes out now, right? Yeah, that is a problem. Oh, that's a Amoonguss. Okay. Well, that's a big deal. I wonder if this is also clear Smogomungus, though. Like, right now, what I want to do is pivot in Rilla or Electabuzz. If I'm my opponent, I think I'm switching this out right now into... I'm Sporing King Gambit, and I'm switching this out into Ursaluna. So I want to bring in Rilla so I can fake out the Ursaluna next turn. And burn a turn of sleep immediately. Yep, there's the switch. Yep. It's a shame that we didn't knock out the Ensign there, because it would have gotten rid of Intimidate, which opens up Blaziken for the endgame. But positioning Rilla out right now is huge. Also, if we had gotten rid of Ensign, it would be, yeah, no more Intimidate, which means Rilla Woodhammer is just such a bigger threat into Ursaluna. Now my question is whether or not you're Ghost Terra. I could have stayed in and given Gambit another coaching boost as well, which maybe was tempting. Because, like, you can obviously just pressure Headlong Rush right now into us. 2 turns of Trick Room left. So I'll fake out. Fake out. This could Terra. I'm going to fake out Kowtow. Let's see if it's Ghost Terra. I've seen a lot of different Terras on Ursaluna recently, like even Fairy. But Ghost is specifically very helpful in this scenario, but I'm still just going to click Fake Out. Because I think if they're Ghost Terra, this game is kind of cooked anyway. There's a Terra, so let's see. I'm guessing it is. Ursaluna. Yeah. Could have gone for Sucker Punch, but Amoonguss could just Rage Powder. Rage Powder plus Headlong Rush is really safe here. I guess I could have gone Fake Out Amoonguss Sucker Punch. Ooh, but they do Facade. Okay, wait, hold on. If Gambit wakes up, this is actually totally doable still. They probably expect to Protect, but we're AB. But we stay asleep, okay. Maybe it's still doable with Electabuzz, though, because I can at least follow me. Their play, you should always Headlong Rush now, I think, into Gambit. So I think I just go for follow me here, and... Kowtow Cleave. Yeah, at least, like, it buys us a turn, but a Wake Up there would have been so huge. They positioned in Ursaluna great in this game, though, right? Like, the way that they maneuvered in this one was nicely done, and even with the Defiant boost, we still did less than 50% of Porygon, and didn't get the one-hit knockout onto Ensign, which felt sad. Good choice to actually click Fake Out into Gambit on turn 1 as well. Like, it could have been, I could have just clicked Low Kick into Ensign on turn 1. I go for Rage Powder. Let me go for Follow Me. I go for Headlong Rush. Yeah. Does Gambit wake up now is the question. Because if Gambit wakes up and Amoonguss survives, then like Blaziken plus Gambit could just clean up the game for us. Oh. Well, that sucks. Okay. Still winnable though? Is it? Obviously I have Flare Blitz into Amoonguss. I mean, the obvious play right now is to just Flare Blitz Amoonguss. Kowtow Cleave this. If I were my opponent, I would probably be switching this into Ensign. No lie, I want to just go coaching here and then Kowtow Cleave into Amoonguss.
Basically, like, I feel really far behind in this game. I mean, I don't know, like, because if you're my opponent... Oh, okay, yeah. Exactly, this is what I'm looking for. Nice. Coaching just, like, takes advantage of, you know, any passive play by them, which is a protect from Ursaluna. So we do wake up. I don't even know if +3 Kowtow Cleave KOs this. Okay, it does. I was starting to lose all faith. The problem now, though, is because we didn't knock... Like, if we had knocked out Incineroar earlier, I actually think we just win the game from this spot. It wouldn't be guaranteed, because then you can bring out Porygon, you force a 50-50, I think, on if you Trick Room or not. But the problem is now you bring out Incin, you can just fake out into the King Gambit. Yeah, so it's such a shame we just missed out on the KO. Obviously, you're going to click fake out into Gambit right now. And give myself another coaching boost. No need to knock out Incin right now anyway, and cleave into Ursaluna. It's a question of whether or not +3 Gambit, +3 defense Gambit can survive the Facade. Or sorry, not the Facade, Headlong Rush. Because I think if we do, we actually just win the game, right? Because then I just close combat instinct, Kowtow Cleave Ursaluna. But this is what I felt like I needed just one attack earlier, right? Which is why waking up would have been huge. Okay, can we survive this? Okay. Huge. I think we might be okay. I thought this game was over for sure, but them targeting Rillaboom instead of Gambit, maybe expecting Protect that turn, allowed me to come back into this one. With Ghost Terra coming out, I thought the game was just over immediately, but... I mean, just double checking the field state. This should protect. But I don't think we need to make any aggressive predictions right now. I'm down to just Kowtow. It might come down to... Like, this turn, I'll obviously be able to knock out the Incineroar, as Ursaluna presumably protects. So then what it might come down to is, do I want to read into them going for a double protect with Ursaluna and then double up onto Porygon? I think the answer to that question is still no, because I still have Sucker Punch pressure, even if you get the double protect off. And it's a 2/3 chance to just win the game on the spot if you don't get double protect. Oh, interesting approach. They're going to switch Incin out immediately. Okay, then the question is, how much does Porygon 2 take from the close combat? That should have always been a... No. I was going to say it should have always been a... Oh, never mind. Close combat does so much to Porygon. Okay. Okay, so you would think now they switch Ursa out into Incin to intimidate my Blaziken. They switch this out into Incin to intimidate. Like, close combat Kowtow Cleave is the obvious play right now, right? Even with intimidate, we're still kind of close on Porygon. Yeah, wait. Close combat and Kowtow here is fine, right? If you switch into Incin, the double up just KOs you. No, wait, hold on. I actually think I need a double KO right now. I'm close combating this. And Kowtow cleaving Porygon. Bingo. Okay, nice. I think there may have been a better play that turn. Where... Could I have close combated Incin and Kowtow cleaved it? I think so. I think that was the better play. I mean, it should be fine here unless Porygon's not aiming to set up Trick Room and then they KO King Gambit. But with the Salt Vest, I think we should be okay. Nice. What a game. Cool. Yeah, I think close combat and cleave into Ursa is fine because it covers for the option of Ursaluna actually staying in that spot. Whereas the play I made does not cover for that. If Ursaluna stays in, I would actually have lost there. So yeah, I don't think my play there was perfect, but now we can just Flare Blitz and Kowtow Cleave. What a game. What an episode. I think that's a good one to end on. This is one of my favorite episodes I've had in this regulation so far. I think this team was just so fun, and we were able to feature so many cool strategies. And yeah, Blaziken was unbelievable. We used it offensively, we used it to enable our Pokemon, and this one felt like it was over for sure until it wasn't. So yeah. So what a fun, crazy set of games it was today. Hopefully this episode has opened your eyes to the strength of Blaziken and coaching and how it is both viable as a coaching user as well as a very big offensive threat. So huge thanks to Sable VGC for building and sharing this team, and congrats to him for top 64 at regionals. Thanks to you all as always for watching, and if you enjoyed, would really appreciate if you consider leaving a like in the video or subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. All right, peace.